Whenever there's a shift in my style and I start to question if I'm doing what I actually want to do, I start to think about all of the ways the fashion industry and social media has tried to convince me that I like a particular item, style, and trying to like that style in particular because there are definitely trends that come in and that speaks to me. I love it, and then they leave, and all of a sudden I can't buy anything, or I feel like I'm struggling to buy things because I cannot find things that either fit me or sizing has changed or just the aesthetic as a whole is kind of like in my past. So my style is changing and I wanted to talk about this because it is definitely a bit of an identity crisis and this happens throughout your life on multiple occasions. And I think that those of us who struggled to either express ourselves when we were younger or we were forced to wear a uniform, that was me. So up until like eighth grade, high school, public school, oh my gosh, what do we wear? So throughout my life, I definitely clung on to the things that I liked, and I liked to dress based off of what I saw in media. So I liked anime, I liked vampires. I don't even know why, but I was surrounded by fantasy and superheroes and alternative music and just, magical things in general because of Disney. So as a person who does not really go towards simplicity, I end up gravitating towards things with texture and layers and making connections. So being a highly intelligent person, I didn't call myself this. My therapist keeps telling me this. Person that sees connections in everything. That is basically what led me to where I am now with my style. So if I see someone in an outfit, color combination, silhouette, they're doing something, I can tell, and I instantly like pick up on it. And it's a way we communicate. So I think it's an amazing way to build connections and to, just non-verbally communicate to other people what you like. And there are those that don't really care to do this. They prefer the simplicity of having a uniform. And I can totally see how that makes life a lot easier because I've done this here and there throughout my life. For instance, work. If you have a uniform or you don't like to wear a uniform to work, you usually have like an outfit that you go to get to work. Whether it's comfy, it's practical, you don't really care about these clothes if they get dirty, whatever. So I've done that. And now that I am trying to basically rebuild my style as a person in my mid 30s and thinking that I like these things, therefore I should like these things throughout my entire life. Not true. So recognizing what you're comfortable in, what your, I guess, goal is, and what you're trying to communicate, if you are that kind of person that believes in that, it's important. If you don't think it's that deep, maybe this isn't the video for you. But for those of you who do think that it is that deep, I'm one of those people. This is for you because when did we start to strive to put in less effort or to look effortless? Because that is the idea that I have always struggled with, and that will sometimes try to creep into my brain, like those little evil voices that are like, you're trying too hard, or who are you trying to impress, or is this too much? We don't like that, okay? I love to see a person in an outfit, they like are feeling themselves, my favorite thing. So, based off of your experiences and your day to day life, you have to tailor your clothes to yourself. And that is what we are doing. So, it really makes no sense to look at other people and wonder, like, why are they wearing that? Because ultimately, everyone has a reason. And I'm not talking about the people that like totally deflect from fashion and just I don't know, don't care about fashion. We care about fashion. We care about what's on our body. And I'm going to go into the reasons why I care. Earlier in the video, I went into what I liked, and that has continued throughout my life. And instead of wearing a t shirt that says, I like Lord of the Rings, I will just put together an outfit that looks like a hobbit or an elf. without the ears, of course. If we were allowed to walk around with fake swords, I would. There are people that like so many things that we have to rotate constantly, like do a rotation of what we like. I have to do that. I think I do that seasonally. So I definitely like to go for a more darker aesthetic during the fall. And then spring, I definitely feel more lighter, definitely brighter, the glitter, just different fabrics. The flowers, these flowers are new, okay? I got these yesterday. They remind me of the Philippines because there were wisteria flowers in the Philippines. And I did not know that until I saw them. So they're a vibe. So there's the we like what we like, we want to show what we like. And then there comes the idea that maybe it's not all lining up. For instance, I love a good princess look, I love a good long skirt, but I'm the kind of person that actually feels a little bit trapped depending on the kind of skirt or like the length, what I'm doing. So for grocery shopping, I cannot wear a long skirt because I have to go upstairs. You know what I mean? Around the house, I can't wear a long skirt because I am like cleaning, I'm doing stuff, it gets in my way. I'm slightly clumsy, I might trip over the thing. I also don't want to get cat hair all over my skirt. So I end up wearing pants. And pants is not exactly princess like. So if we go into media and we think of princesses, there are princesses that are warriors, there are princesses that are aliens like Starfire. So there are princesses in all of these different realms, and you can combine things, okay? The other thing that I want to get into is vampires. I have rethought the way I think about vampires. I'm actually the vampire hunter. I have now flipped to the defender, okay, of the realm, and I like that. Think Underworld, Van Helsing as well, okay? Love that movie so much. So it is possible to look for inspiration in things that are lighter. I don't want to associate myself with trying to spread a scary presence, okay? I want to be the light. I want to be whimsical and fun, but also a protector. In the end, this is all about having fun. We have one life, okay? I keep trying to drill this into my head because I don't want to waste my time worrying about what other people are thinking of my outfit. There is probably only one thing that I don't really care for people to think of my outfit. I like to keep it as PG as I can. I only need to look hot for one person, and that is my husband. And the rest of the time, I would rather people look at me like, interesting. In the end, I prefer to look approachable unless I'm just really not feeling it. We have, certain parameters that we use to just ward off people or men, and that's fine. All this thinking into what we're wearing requires effort, whether we want it to look effortless or not. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's my rant. Hopefully, this wasn't too crazy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And thanks for watching.